Hello everyone, I am Adonis Recap. Welcome to my channel, and I hope you can take 5 seconds to like and subscribe. Thank you all so much. It seems like the author is gradually moving into the stage of Taoist cultivation, and since I am a reviewer, each person has a different writing style, so I will write with a slightly humorous tone to make it less boring. As for any emotional or romantic parts, I will still write in a romantic style. But since it's Taoist cultivation, the characters will definitely have extraordinary powers, and I will exaggerate that for fun. Everyone has their own unique review style, and I hope mine suits your tastes. And please like and subscribe to my channel. Is it Shen Yuan? Oh, you guessed it right, it's our Shen Yuan, and his recent kick is no ordinary kick. That power has reached a level 15 times that of an average person. It sounds like Shen Yuan has just upgraded to a superhero version, doesn't it? With that kick, the air around seemed to compress, creating a powerful shockwave that spread in all directions. Even the vehicle was disturbed by that kick, shaking like an earthquake of 9.5 on the Richter scale, reminiscent of a catastrophic earthquake that claims thousands of lives. That moment froze in time as everything seemed to slow down, revealing every detail of the chaos. Each shard of shattered glass flew like shooting stars in the night, creating a scene that was both terrifying and intense. Looking at the window that left a large hole, a group of robbers inside the vehicle sat there like startled deer in headlights, completely bewildered and unsure of what just happened. Damn, what the hell was that? But before they could ask each other if anyone understood what was happening, suddenly from the broken window, a strong hand reached in, firmly grasped the car door, and yanked it open with force. Yes, just as you might imagine, the van's door was ripped off its hinges like a toy, flying straight outside without any mercy. This unexpected scene shocked the masked robbers, their eyes wide in horror as if they had just seen a ghost appear. Their eyes were so bulging that they seemed ready to pop out, their hearts racing wildly, nearly fainting on the spot. But that's not all. Shen Yuan appeared at the car door like a gust of wind, disappearing and then reappearing right before their eyes with his piercing gaze. He looked at the robbers as if considering what type of criminals they were. You guys have messed with the wrong person. The robbers trembled like leaves in the wind, feeling as if they had just encountered a legendary ghost. This scene would surely remain etched in their memories, a day they would never want to recall. In an instant, the lead robber's heart felt like it would drop out of his chest, and he screamed like a pig being slaughtered. Holy shit, what the hell just happened? Accelerate. Accelerate, damn it. Hurry up. Accelerate. Shen Yuan stomped his foot hard on the pavement, preparing for a kick that even Messi would envy. In the blink of an eye, he shot up with the speed of a shooting star. Without a second thought, he kicked straight into the face of their leader while the guy was still busy shouting. A kick like that would definitely make him rethink his career if he survived at all. In a split second, he was kicked out of the car door like a light sack, his mouth agape, not fully understanding what just happened. And with the combined force of the kick and the car speeding away, Shen Yuan's kick ensured that he would fly out smoothly, leaving him faced with two scenarios, either dying from a sudden spike in blood pressure from shock, or having his body completely mangled after an unfortunate collision with the ground. Seeing their leader being so well taken care of by Shen Yuan, the robbers screamed in panic, "Leader! Leader!" But it seemed their shouting was just for show, as they soon learned what special treatment felt like, but couldn't just sit and wait to die. The two young men wearing masks, Wukong and Zhu Beiji, still tried to act tough, even pulling out knives to resist. But how pathetic for Wukong and Zhu Beiji. As soon as they drew their knives, they felt the world around them suddenly spinning as if they had just stepped off a roller coaster. Shen Yuan, with a look of, "Are you kidding me?" wasted no time and happily gave each of them a punch. If they survive, each time they see Shen Yuan on TV in the future, they will surely set off fireworks to celebrate their existence. Then, without a second thought, Shen Yuan tossed each person out of the car as if they were nothing but trash. Finally, the driver was trembling with fear. The guy who had dared to flip Shen Yuan off earlier now felt the entire weight of the earth pressing down on his bladder as he saw Shen Yuan standing right behind him. His previously arrogant demeanor had suddenly shifted to one of gentleness and endearment. "Please, no, sir. No, hero, please spare me. I'm just a driver, really. I don't know those guides." Seeing him about to wet his pants, Shen Yuan coldly replied, "Park by the side of the road and you can leave." The voice seemed to echo from a distant realm, making the panicked young driver feel as if he were seeing a ghost in broad daylight. Without thinking any more, he hurriedly stammered, Okay, I'll do that, sir. No, hero." Afterward, the driver hurriedly complied, stopping the car on the roadside and jumping out as quickly as possible to escape this nightmare. This is what they call avoiding the watermelon only to encounter the coconut. Precisely that. He had just stepped out of the car, barely able to breathe a sigh of relief when karma struck as swiftly as a summer downpour. As a result, a car came out of nowhere and hit him in a single blow, one hit without a single miss. But the story wasn't over yet. The young man who had just done a good deed quickly stopped his car, but his expression was one of sheer confusion and fear. "Oh shit, I hit someone. Hey, are you okay?" On the van, the scene was no different from that of a boxing match that had just concluded. Chen Yuan, along with the rich girl Qin Wushuang and Yi Han, had vanished. Only the bloodstains remained everywhere, the aftermath of a group of unfortunate robbers who had just been meticulously dealt with by Chen Yuan. The next morning, as the first rays of sunshine filtered through the curtains, Yi Han groggily woke up on the soft bed in the hotel. She felt her head pounding as if it were being struck by a hammer, a side effect of inhaling too much anesthetic the night before. Then Yi Han looked around the presidential suite in the five-star hotel, starting to doubt, could it be that I wasn't kidnapped last night and it was all just a dream? But if it was just a dream, why did everything feel so real? And in my most dangerous moment, a man appeared like an angel descending to save me from a precarious situation. It truly was a dramatic dream, yet with a touch of strange sweetness. And why does my head hurt as if I had taken anesthetics? While Yi Han was still confused with her thoughts, Qin Wushuang suddenly jolted awake from the other side of the bed and screamed in panic. "No, no, don't come near. Don't come close." Seeing Qin Wushuang's reaction was the same, Yi Han asked suspiciously, "Wushuang, did you have a nightmare too?" Qin Wushuang glanced around and then looked at Yi Han in surprise. "Yes, but it's strange. How did we end up here? I clearly remember that last night at a bar we were kidnapped by a group of robbers. How did we suddenly return to the hotel?" Instantly, both of them widened their eyes and looked at each other, their eyes lighting up as if they had just discovered a shocking secret. Could it be that this isn't a dream? Just as Qin Wushuang and Yi Han were lost in a tangle of thoughts, they turned on the TV and caught the news. Last night at 22:26, a serious car accident occurred on Avenue 8, heading from the Jiangtu Bridge towards the port. A van with fake license plates carrying several men was overturned when it was speeding. The van driver was also hit by a truck, resulting in a total of 4 fatalities, with no survivors. Currently, the Gyeongbokgung police are further investigating the specific circumstances. Witnesses reported that this van had kidnapped 2 young girls near the Firefox bar. However, the police found no trace of the 2 kidnapped girls in a vehicle. According to the initial speculation by the police, these 2 girls might be special force soldiers who fiercely resisted the kidnappers and managed to escape safely. There are still many suspicious points in this case that require further investigation to identify the 2 kidnapped girls. Additionally, from the signs of a fierce struggle leading to the accident, the police also found drugs-laced cloths, daggers, ropes, and other tools used in the crime. The group of robbers has been identified, but the whereabouts of the 2 girls remain unclear. There are suspicions that they may have been pushed into the Zhangjiang River. We will continue to update information from Gyeongbokgung. After reading the news, Yi Han and Qin Wushuang were both stunned and confused. "Yi Han, so it wasn't a dream last night. We really were kidnapped," Qin Wushuang said. Yi Han also a who replied, "But the problem is, who saved us? And why are we in a hotel now?" Qin Wushuang thought for a moment and then mumbled. "Could it be that while we were unconscious, we suddenly developed superpowers? Someone surely helped us. We just don't know who that person is. But how could someone suddenly jump into a high-speed moving car and throw the kidnappers out? Could it be Chen Yuan? I remember he runs very fast." The more Yi Han thought about it, the more absurd it seemed, and she shook her head in rebuttal. "Sister Wushuang, have you been watching TikTok for over 180 minutes? Although Chen Yuan can run fast, he is still just an ordinary person. How could he possibly chase after a car moving at over 100 kilometers/eb? Moreover, he refused to take us home last night, after we were kidnapped. The van was speeding. Even in the city center, their speed was consistently over 90 kilometers/a. Then it even increased to over 100 kilometers/a. Ordinary people cannot keep up with that speed." The more Yi Han thought about it, the more determined he was to deny Qin Wushuang's speculation. But the more he pondered, the more he felt stuck. Who exactly saved us? There must be someone who rescued us, but there is no reasonable theory to explain this. Could it be that this person is not human, but a god? This is too hard to believe. Qin Wushuang thought for a moment and decided to call Chen Yuan. After just a few rings, a lazy voice came from the other end. "Hello, who is this? Making noise so early in the morning. Can't you let others sleep?" Hearing Chen Yuan's annoying tone, Qin Wushuang coldly inquired, feeling both worried and a bit hopeful. "It's me, Qin Wushuang. Where were you last night?" Next to her, Yi Han was racking her brain, but couldn't make sense of the situation, so when she heard Qin Wushuang on the phone, she was very curious. In order to deny any connection to the events of the previous night, Chen Yuan replied in a careless and somewhat mocking tone. Oh, is it Miss Qin? Do you really not know, or are you just pretending? Last night, I was drinking with my good friend, drinking until late at night. Qin Wushuan felt a bit disappointed after hearing Chen Yuan's response. It really wasn't Chen Yuan, but deep down, she hoped that the person who saved her during her time of danger was him. Then Qin Wushuan replied, her voice tinged with sadness. It's nothing. Just leave it at that. After saying that, she hung up the phone. At that moment, a frantic ringing sound like a fire alarm came from outside the room. Yi Han went out to open the door, allowing a bodyguard to enter with a guilty expression as if he were about to lose something important. Immediately, Yi Han couldn't suppress her curiosity and asked, Brother Wang, what exactly happened last night? The bodyguard bowed his head, apologetically explaining, I'm sorry, miss. Last night we were negligent. Please forgive us. After you were kidnapped, our security team was in such a panic that we even forgot to eat. Everyone felt the weight of responsibility on their shoulders, and some even considered going into seclusion after this incident. At this point, the bodyguard became emotional and couldn't hold back his tears, crying profusely. We're so grateful that you really weren't harmed. At Majuro, Director Yi nearly went insane with worry. Since last night, he's consumed 2 jars of tranquilizers. The sight of a tall, strong man crying like a child made Yi Han unable to scold him. She then continued to ask, Come on, Mr. Wang, I'm perfectly fine. I will call my father shortly to reassure him. This incident is not entirely your fault, so don't blame yourselves. Clearly, someone has orchestrated this, so it's difficult to avoid any lapses. Oh, by the way, who rescued me and Ms. Wu Shuang last night? Is there any clue? The bodyguard wiped away his tears and began to recount the unbelievable story from last night. Thank you, miss. Last night, indeed, one of our bodyguards witnessed a person moving as fast as a car chasing after the van. But aside from that, there were no additional details. After the bodyguard left, Yi Han pondered intensely, but the more she thought, the more illogical it seemed. This is utterly ridiculous. Who is behind the conspiracy to kidnap me, and who saved me? This was a golden opportunity to build a good relationship with the Yi family, yet this person chose to vanish. Surely they don't want to be scrutinized by public opinion. Who could be so mysterious? Meanwhile, on the other side, Chen Yuan had just hung up the phone with Qin Wushuan and couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. This is really a hassle. This matter absolutely cannot be revealed. It must remain confidential or it will be a huge problem. Firstly, the situation involves 4 lives. Even though they are criminals by law, no one has the right to deal with them arbitrarily. If discovered, I could face legal troubles. Secondly, the process of rescuing Yi Han and Qin Wushuang has gone beyond the limits of an ordinary person. Being too prominent is not a good thing. It could lead to unwanted attention, even being subjected to research. I am already famous, but I don't want this incident to further elevate my notoriety. Once again, fortunately, my speed was incredibly fast and it took place in the dark of night, so no one could possibly recognize me. Hero stopping evil and eliminating violence or a disruptor of public order. Enough, I'm tired. Let me sink deep into oblivion. Those curious about my identity can just skip the New Year's feast. Just as Chen Yuan was about to take another nap, he suddenly remembered his friend left behind in the bar last night. He jumped up, grabbed his phone, and called Song Jung-ki to check on him. Oh dear, I almost forgot Jung-ki is heartbroken, sitting alone to drown his sorrows. I wonder if he is still alive at this hour. Ha ha ha, I need to call and check on him. On Song Jung-ki's side, the scene from the battlefield last night was quite brutal. Wiggins' clothes were mixed with his own, scattered chaotically on the floor, making it hard to tell what was what. Even now, he was still unconscious, unaware of whether the world was spinning or had come to a halt. The phone rang continuously for about 30 seconds before a pale white hand reached out to grab it. On the phone, the girl's voice rang out, "Hello." Hearing this voice, Shen Yuan couldn't help but feel both surprised and shocked. Oh, what is this? Why is it a woman's voice? Immediately, the scene flashed in Shen Yuan's mind of his best friend experiencing this for the first time in his life, and of course, the debut was nothing short of chaotic. The more he thought about it, the more Chen Yuan's lips couldn't help but curve into a smile. Jung Kai, it's your first time sleeping with a girl and she answered my phone. She must have taken the initiative. No wonder she kicked me out last night. At first, I was worried that Jung Ki, being overly sentimental, might easily fall into depression. Who knew this kid would be so carefree? Truly, youth means you have to act quickly in everything. Feeling reassured of Song Jung Ki, Chen Yuan also felt as if a weight of 1,000 pounds had been lifted off his shoulders. But after getting out of bed, he found himself a bit bored. That feeling lingered, prompting Shen Yuan to mumble, "So boring. Maybe I should take a trip back to Tianmen City today to see how the construction of my villa over 10,000 square meters is coming along. While I'm at it, I also want to check the filming progress of Gao Quan Yin. Thinking of this, Chen Yuan couldn't help but smile. I guess I really should treat myself to something. It's such a big villa, and I don't even know what it's like. Well, let's go take a look first. Who knows, I might discover something interesting, or at least there will be a swimming pool to soak my feet in. Around 10 a.m., a luxurious helicopter landed at Huda University. Immediately, the atmosphere became lively as if a movie star had arrived. As soon as it touched down, the helicopter exuded an air of power with its doors wide open, and a dazzling red carpet stretched from the door to the ground as if inviting someone from the sky to descend like a deity. In front of it stood 8 flight attendants, each wearing a fitted uniform, standing straight along the sides. Curious students gathered more and more, their eyes glued to the magnificent aircraft before them. A few couldn't contain their curiosity and exclaimed, "What is this? Is a famous person coming here? This helicopter costs tens of millions of dollars and it has 8 flight attendants standing around. I wonder who this influential person is." Another student quickly responded with a proud tone, "Don't you know? Of course, it's the pride of Huda University, Lim Yong-won." As the crowd whispered and chatted, Chen Yuan, wearing black sunglasses, made his way towards the helicopter. His dazzling charisma radiated so powerfully that even the sunlight seemed to pause for a moment to admire him. Each powerful step he took left everyone in awe. And so, Chen Yuan, exuding the demeanor of the super-rich along with his aura, boarded the helicopter. The 8 flight attendants simultaneously bowed with bright smiles on their faces. Witnessing this grand scene, the students could only watch in astonishment and admiration. Oh my god, this is the pinnacle of charisma. Lim Yong-won not only has money, but also this kind of presence. Who can compare? A girl in the crowd sighed dreamily, her eyes sparkling. Incredible. Lim Yong-won is so young. I wonder if he's single. Amidst glances filled with yearning and admiration, the helicopter took off and flew towards Tianmen City. As soon as Chen Yuan sat down, one of the flight attendants swiftly approached, gently bowing and offering a sweet smile. "Boss, let me massage your feet. Sitting on the plane for a long time can be tiring." Upon hearing this, Chen Yuan could no longer maintain his calm demeanor. "Yeah, that's fine." Seeing Chen Yuan agree, the flight attendant knelt down, her soft hands beginning to gently massage his tired legs. Chen Yuan leaned back, his eyes filled with enjoyment, and a satisfied smile spread across his face. The feeling of comfort spread throughout his body, making him unable to help but exclaim, "Life of the rich is truly different. Being served like this, who wouldn't love it? Is this paradise? Is anyone jealous of me?" But as he enjoyed the moment, Chen Yuan subconsciously thought of his strange system. Why isn't this girl bound by the system? Usually, the system restricts intimate contact like this. It seems that if the women have too high a favorability towards me, the system can't bind them. The system really does have its choices. Meanwhile, the flight attendant appeared to be a bit overwhelmed while massaging Chen Yuan's legs. Although this was part of her job, facing the legs of a man that many young women secretly dreamed of, she couldn't help but feel her heart racing. Embarrassment was evident on her face. "Oh my, I'm just doing my job. Why is my heart beating so fast? It can't be because of his legs. Could it be because this is Lim Yong-won?" While enjoying the feeling of floating like a cloud, Chen Yuan was suddenly awakened by the ringing of his phone. Looking at the screen, he saw the name Yang Sison clearly displayed. Chen Yuan frowned, but then instinctively remembered the scene when the man bowed his head and acknowledged him as his godson. Yang Sison? Why is he calling at this hour? Does this old man have something he needs from his godson? Chen Yuan pressed the answer button. "Hello, Director Yang. Is there something going on?" From the other end of the line, a hurried voice replied, "Godson, there's a major issue with the film crew. But the difficult problem here is not a lack of funding or technical issues, it's about the actors. According to the script, the male and female leads need to perform a dramatic kissing scene. I asked Miss Gao to do this scene herself, but Miss Gao insists on refusing to shoot the kiss, adamantly demanding to use a body double or rely on special effects. The main issue here is that the male lead is a sought-after star in the country. Other actresses are always eager to get the chance to film kissing scenes with him, even practicing secretly beforehand. But when it came to Miss Gao, she flatly refused, which left him feeling humiliated. Now the whole film crew has to take a break. In fact, if Miss Gao does not apologize and agree to film the kissing scene in the next 3 days, he will withdraw from the film. Now Miss Gao's words carry weight, and once she has made up her mind, no one can force her. Reluctantly, I had to report this to my adoptive father. Upon hearing this news, Chen Yuan exploded in anger. "Yang Sison, do you still consider me your adoptive father? How dare you let my woman kiss someone else?" Yang Sison found it irritating to hear or tried to explain, "Adoptive father, if the male and female leads don't touch each other throughout the film, it will be like missing an important spice. If you decide that we can't film the kissing scene with someone else, why don't you step in and play the male lead yourself?